Hi, my name is Beatrice Gilbert, and today I'm going to change the way you currently see the usage of technology in today's world. We have more technological resources than ever, but sadly, we do not use them at their full capacities. A good example is myself. When I first started CEGEP 2 years ago, I told myself that a class on Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Access was useless, let alone 3 classes. Little did I knew that we know only the basics of the software and that every little aspect that we can learn about it can render our work much more efficient and impactful. Therefore, I wanted to prove by this project that this technology helps us push our dreams, operation, and business further. Plus, as our teacher kindly showed us, there's a new technology that ought to be discovered, because it's going to take over the world in a few years, as it is already changing so many things in the way we conduct business and creations. In this video, you're going to learn what elements of Microsoft 365 Word I find useful when launching a business. Creating effective newsletter, clear forms, and fast-to-use macros are only the start of what one is capable to do with Word. But let's get started. Although we may think of 3D printing as being a toy, it is actually a powerful machine that businesses can use to their advantage, and so can we. The fact that everything is possible with a printing machine, and by that I do mean everything, is eyes-opening. We really saw the potential of this machine during the pandemic, as companies and even single workers produce masks and visors to better protect our healthcare workers. 3D printing is effective as it can print an entire product in only a couple of hours. Let me explain to you how Microsoft Word can help me launch my 3D printing-based business. The first thing you need to do when starting your business is attract clients. In order to do so, a company needs to advertise its product and services. Creating efficient memos and newsletter are therefore mandatory in order to succeed. Then, your text is only read by the clients if it is attractive to the eye. A company must ensure that it is. These 2 types of document have the purpose of letting know your clientele or future customer of the new product that you're launching or about the new-to-the-world technology that you're planning on using. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I found useful when creating a newsletter for my business. My goal is to create a 2-page document that is going to announce the launch of the new business. I will add colorful images to attract the customer's eyes, although inserting images to a text is not the only thing essential. Adding a caption below the image can help the reader understand what you're trying to show or to demonstrate. Adding a chart is also a powerful tool to use, as it often summarizes the data explained in the following text. We all know that a page full of text is only going to push away the reader. By having charts and graphs, the client really sees what is important to remember. Sidebars are also very important to incorporate to a document. They are useful to add information and let the client choose what or she wants to read. In Chapter 9, we even learn how to reference a section of text to another sidebar. Although I didn't use these tools in my newsletter, creating a table of figures, a table of content, an index, and a sub-document are very powerful tools to use when the text in question is longer than what we're discussing here in my project. For the purpose of my project, I wanted to create a newsletter that investors, clients, and other businesses could read and learn about my company and how the company was doing sales-wise for its first quarter of business. So as you can see, when you open the document, you can see that to the right, I have a sidebar, which we learned in Module 8 and 9, that you can reference a sidebar to another. So if I try to move and change the height and size of the sidebar, the text can go in the other one below. Then I have a picture and I have a caption below it. So I always have figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, and next to it I have the caption that goes with it. After I have my table, so I created an Excel document in which I transform the table into my Word document. So here you can see the sales for the imaginary sales for the first quarter of business of hemp athletics. When the customers are informed of the launch and that they're interested in your product, you must gather the data and specific information to order, customize the product, or to only get to know better your clientele. In this module, especially the 10th module, we learn how to create customizable forms that render access to information more efficient. Creating forms, as said previously, are useful when a company needs information related to the customer. It can be as broad as a satisfaction survey and as specific as getting to know their exact requirements for a single product. In the case of me launching a business, I want to obtain data related to their specific needs and desire related to the customable shoe. This module was quite unfamiliar to me, as I didn't know that the Developer tab existed prior to this course. The Developer tab helps you create the forms that you want and ensure that the reader will find it easy to insert information. Buttons can be added to make sure that this form is customizable to each client. They can insert their own answer and be assured that the product fits their own needs. Buttons include combo boxes, text fields, drop-down functions, date picker, checkboxes, and more. An element that is great with Word's Developer tab is that you can change all of the properties of the text and button easily. Then, when the document is done, a simple function to protect the format and to ensure that no user will change the question or attempt to resend the falsified files is that you can restrict the editing. This way, you can make sure that the client will only be able to modify and enter the right fields. Here, the form that I'm showing you is the one that I created for this project. Since you already know that my project is a hemp 3D based printing company that creates running shoes for runners, obviously, I wanted really to get to know the customer before creating a shoe for this type of runner. So I asked for the name and the shoe size, which are pretty basic. After you get to choose the type of runner that you are, because a professional does not need the same type of shoes than a recreational runner. So that's that. And after you have the events that you run. So it's pretty obvious that a 100-meter sprinter and a marathoner do not need the same kind of shoe. So we create different types of shoes, therefore we need to get to know the customer better. We really wanted to create a form that was customizable for the customer and that the customer couldn't change the questions. So I restricted the editing in this form, as you can see. Third of all, such as 3D printing is showing us that business and production can be done another way and sometimes more efficient, macros can also help us render our work using Microsoft Word more efficient and faster. As a student that often uses the program, I find useful to know the little hacks that can help me work better and faster. In Module 11, the book demonstrates and teaches us to create our own macros and to do simple and automatic tasks. Running a macro has never been this easy. Of course, the book teaches us to compute simple macros, but it also shows us how to easily change the VBA code and properties of the macro. This is a function that was unknown to me before taking this class. This is something that anybody wanting to start a business can easily do to render their day-to-day operation easier. In conclusion, whether you're running a very efficient operation or simply starting your own business, you absolutely need to get familiar with memos and newsletter, forms, and macros. The specific aspects of Microsoft Word 365 help in an efficient way to create good content in no time. Creating good content can ensure a business to be visible and to obtain and retain clientele. In this project, I'm creating a hemp and 3D printing based running shoe company. This highly specific concept puts the company in the obligation to produce highly technological content to stay in the business concept and model. Fortunately for us, Word allows everybody to use the free version that enables us to create powerful content in no time.